Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the first SNL Siaki Now Live of 2024. I am very sorry it has been so long since you've gotten an update from me. Hopefully, you have been getting our monthly prayer letters. And please, if you are on Facebook, find Barbara Siaki. She posts something 3 times a week sometimes. So you can kind of get a really current, up to date update of the Siakis. So anyway, yeah, we are traveling. Barbara and I had taken a quick trip down to Durban to see a ministry partner down there, and we've just been traveling. We were on the roads at night, and there's, oh man, these trucks coming at you. Woo! Praise God for safety. So I'll just start out with some miscellaneous South African stuff as we set the stage and we'll get going. I'm really hoping that this is not a very long one for you, all right? We got a Christmas card in January of 2024. We got a Christmas card from December of 2021. The friends had sent us a great Christmas card. The post office here is bankrupt. Nothing works. It does not go through. So please do not send anything to us by South African Post, because we may only get it 2 to 3 years later, especially not food. There was this funny article, or I saw on the news, the Minister of Transportation, he was driving along, and he and his security detail, someone had a flat tire. So they pull over on the side of the road, and he's standing there. He's in his, with his security detail, 2 bodyguards, and a car pulls over and robs them and just takes everything from them. Took their guns, everything. I just thought, man, that is so funny. The minister with bodyguards just gets taken right there on the road. And then lately, at our local mall, the one that's only 5 minutes down the road from us, Cresta, a jewelry store, they busted in. They threw smoke bombs in. They subdued the guard, shot into the air, used hammers to break the glass, just running through the mall. It was just kind of crazy. I haven't had anything crazy happen to me necessarily, just have seen a number of things. So I just go, oh, okay. And South Africa is still going through its load shedding. It means that the traffic lights are out and the homeless people are directing traffic. But without them, it would be complete gridlock to try and make it through the city. But now we're dealing with brownout of water. We're getting days where there is no water. So we've been trying to decide which is worse, not having water or not having electricity. And yeah, we're thinking water, because you really need it to survive, to get through. So we might have to figure out a way maybe of getting a tank that will catch some rainwater. But we're coming into winter. We've kind of gone through a whole hot spell, and now we're starting to turn to a colder time. Let me tell you how some of the health things are going. A bit of a health challenge update to try and make it as real quick as possible. I want to just let you know that I have started a kind of a different routine. I made a number of changes to myself and my body. In the morning, I do get up anywhere between 5:30 and 6. And I try and get out into the sunlight, get some sunlight straight on me, and then also just go barefoot on the ground, grounding, seeing if anything kind of good happens with that, and with the sunlight. So I'm in there about 15-20 minutes, and then I do a cold plunge into my pool, and it was kind of fun. It was 60s. It was cold, but not overly so. And I do some kind of aerobic exercise in there while I was in the pool. And now it's getting really cold. Now it's down to 55 degrees, and that's hurting. I get in and and my hands hurt, my feet hurt. It's actually, I'm not doing any more aerobic because minutes count down while you are thinking about it, and then you start shivering. So that is that. Oh, and also changed my diet substantially since I've been on here or seen any of you. Just for my health, for health reasons, I had decided to go off all meat. Isabel, my youngest, is a vegan, and so I went vegan with her. I went vegan for a long time, except that I was getting really tired. So I saw a dietitian, and for a person of my substantial size, I had to eat a lot of protein. My protein requirement was at least 85 grams a day. So, to put that in context, I have 4 eggs in the morning. That's 30 grams. And then I have a protein shake mid morning through to lunch, a protein shake, dumping in tons of stuff and protein powder. That's another 30 grams. So I'm only at 60. So then I'm chasing protein for the rest of the day. And I was just getting really tired. And so that became kind of a problem. So after a few months of that, I went to a vegetarian so that I could eat some cheese and eggs. And then I have gone pescatarian. That means, if you don't know, eating fish and seafood. So that has helped also to be able to get that into my diet and getting the protein back up. And then late last year, I don't remember if I told you, but I had cataract surgery. I had cloudiness in this right eye because of cortisone use. When I was young, I had a rare kidney disease and it was treated with cortisone. So I had that for like a 7 year period of treatments. And so that just clouded it, got a cataract. So I had the surgery, went in to see the doctor, the surgeon, and he says, well, in about 5 weeks, you'll have perfect vision in that one eye. And I'm like, hey, doctor, I told you I wear glasses. And he's like, oh, well, I think he wanted me to come in and get the other one done. But anyway, I didn't. So I had to get a few of these pairs remade. And I've been having headaches, unfortunately, because it took a while for my eyes to adjust to that, for about 2 months of headaches. Anyway, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about the writing, but writing 2 books this year, and it has just been such a physical challenge. And my back has been killing me. I've been attending a number of conferences in which the accommodation, the beds were just horrible, and I just have really had lower back trouble. And that has just, it's sometimes been debilitating. Like I can't do anything, and it's just horrible. And then I'm not sure if I shared that my vertebrae in my neck have been affecting my arms. They are having pins and needles, making it very hard to do any kind of consistent thing for a long time. With the arms, they did an x-ray, and vertebrae 3 to 7 have severe deterioration and are pinching the nerves, and the guy wanted to have surgery, and I'm like, no. And speaking of surgery, I went and I saw a recommendation of this guy who was a pain specialist. He actually called himself a pain interventionist. And so I went to see him, and the reception was a madhouse. And it took me 2.5 hours before he finally saw me. And he was really busy, and he like had an emergency surgery he had to go to, and he was looking at my stuff, and he hadn't really even looked at my MRI on my lower back. Well, he just reads the report, and he said, yeah. He goes, okay, listen, I'm a leader in an operation called endoscopy. I'd never heard of it, and I hear it's done a lot in the States, but not here. Nobody is doing it. So he told me it's like a arthroscopy for your knee that you would do on your back. You go in with a camera and a laser, and you do things. And he says, so you're a candidate for it. And he even said, I can fix your sciatica. And he says, read this brochure. And then he says, listen, I'll put you in. The earliest I have is a month from now, April 22nd, okay? And I'm like, what? And he says, yeah, here you go. And he has me sign a release form and a consent form. He's like, just go talk with the receptionist and she'll book in the rest of the stuff. And I walk out. I mean, friends, I am gobsmacked. I, I went in to talk about what options we have, and I'm getting now a surgery. I was blown away. I was just shell shocked. So I walk up to the receptionist, and I'm like paying for the visit, and she's saying, okay, what date, and we'll have to check with the hospital. And the doctor says, oh, and by the way, we can't take your international American health insurance, so you're going to have to pay up front. And I'm just kind of bummed, and I say, and how much is this going to cost? How much do I have to pay you up front? And she says, it'll probably be about $15,000. And friends, it just, a load just lifted off of me. And I was just like, oh, well, I don't got $15,000. That means I'm not going to get an operation. It was like a switch. And I was like, well, Lord, if you think I should get this operation, then you're going to drop $15,000 in my lap. And I don't think you're going to do that because I don't know about this operation. So I called the following day and canceled. I canceled. I don't know anything about it. We did some research on him, and he's done 200 of these operations, but that doesn't tell us anything. I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad or just a start, or we should wait till 1,000th operation. I don't want to get back surgery. So I don't know. I know that some of you are doctors who watch here, so maybe you have some thoughts on this, but yeah, right now I'm not inclined to get that operation. Okay, so I have gone to a number of conferences about Fathers Matter, church planting, disciple making movements, or admissions, talking about that. And I went down to Durban for the Growing the Church conference down there. And this happens annually, actually. And I normally speak or I do a workshop or something. And I talked to a guy afterwards, and he had been coming and listening to me every year for a decade. Yeah, that's 10 years. And I was like, man, you need a hobby. But yeah, it was just incredible. He could have told all my stories. I'm sure he heard them a few times. But he had just said he and a colleague over the years who had been listening to me have planted two churches in the inner city, and that they're busting at the seams at about 300 and looking for other venues to go to, and always looking to try different things to reach the lost or the unchurched. So that was pretty cool. But it was so hot down there. Oh my gosh, so hot and humid. I had no fan in my room. The bed was hard as heck, and the mosquitoes. I didn't dare go under a mosquito net because it was just too hot. I was chewed all night. Anyway, so I have been working very hard on a book about disciple making movements, DMMs. And these are incredible movements, friends. There's a colleague of mine who does it. I told you about him the last time, Dina. It's just they are affecting tens and of thousands of people, millions in some places, of unreached people, making changes. There's a title of a book I love. It's called "A Wind in the House of Islam," and how these movements are reaching Muslims like incredible ways. So I was just so excited about doing it and becoming more of a part of what's happening with DMMs. I just finished it and sent it off to the publisher in the UK 2 weeks ago. So that all seems to be going well. And so I started into my next book, which is part of a discipleship series training we're going to do. I'm going to be doing on that. It's about the upside down kingdom of God and how things aren't really what you think they are, and that you need to do a lot more when you're being discipled. Again, just writing is such a physical thing. It is just woo! It is very hard to be doing. It is very hard to write. At most, I get 20 minutes. I've tried every kind of thing. I've got a big medicine ball I sit on, and I've got a medicine ball chair that I sit on when that gets hard, and then I cushions, back things, wheat bags. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Oh, I forgot to tell you, my church COVID book, that one was promoted by someone out of the UK again, and they were promoting as a giveaway. And a church planter in Brazil won my book. So that was pretty cool. So I just included a note and they sent it off. And yeah, that's kind of nice. So someone is reading me in Brazil. So obrigado. Did I tell you that I cracked a tooth and I cracked a crown back there, and it hurt so much, but it's so expensive to get it done here, and they don't take American insurance. So, ooh, so I'm waiting. I'm going to be in the States briefly, and I'm just going to get it done. A friend is going to work on it for me, but man, does it hurt. Mm. And the funny thing, I know this was a few months back, but at Christmas, I just wrote it down. It was so funny. I preach at the church at Christmas. I've preached 5 years in a row. They like me to give evangelistic sermons, so I preach them. And this guy comes up to me afterwards, and he's exactly the guy that I pray for and I'm always trying to reach. And he's like, hey, Paul, I enjoy listening to you every Christmas. Dude, we got to pray for him. The Zansprit, the youth, it's going fantastic. This year we're talking about the gospel and Jesus in particular, what he did and getting the kids to know it. It took them a while to understand it was Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So these are things we're really going through, 50 kids, and it's just been fantastic. But man, there have been a lot of things going on. Two of the kids in the groups, a boy and a girl, and their mother got murdered because the relatives are fighting about something, but nobody was arrested. They haven't arrested anyone. And this girl, Zanele, she has epilepsy, and so she has seizures every once in a while. But the family thinks that it's just demons, and because the ancestors are angry, and they're trying to get the kids to be sangomas, which are witch doctors. And there's other kids that they're at, trying to force them to become that, because you get prestige, you get power. So it's been really hard, and we've had to pray for a number of kids, over a number of kids too, to protect them. That's been happening a lot. And then I just really want to ask you to keep praying for Ntlantla. I'm the one who leads it there through the week, but Michaela got him a job to be a driver at first for the school, the Set C school that she does. They drive this van, and it's got words on the side. Anyway, someone in the squatter camp had seen Atlanta driving that. So the following day, there's three dead birds laid out right in front of his door. And that's the sign for death. It's like they put a curse. They're trying to put a curse on him, and this constantly happens. I think I told you, if you remember, they killed his dog last year, and so it's just constantly there's things happening to him. There's blood put onto his car. I just heard a message that they just broke into his place, so it's really, really tough for him. There's been a lot of also deaths in his family, so that's an expense, because he's one of the only people that has a job in his extended family, and there's so much required of him that he has to do, even though he barely makes any money. But if you can just keep praying for him and for all the kids there, that would be really helpful. Thanks, guys. Update now on the family. All right. Okay, we're going to start with Michaela because we have such great news. Michaela just got engaged. Yay! Woo, woo. So that is so exciting. Engaged to a young man named Keegan Ryan. He's a teacher at one of the local schools here. Yeah, it's just fantastic. The Ryan family is so fantastic. They got engaged over one weekend. They had gotten permission first, so we knew they were getting married, but then they went and just had a weekend away, and they got unique rings made. Okay, one was an Irish ring because he's Irish South African, and hers was from a stone that she really likes. Well, they weren't ready. So Keegan went and bought a necklace of the stone. So when he proposed, he said, "And here's a necklace." So she's got pictures with the necklace. So we're super excited. Rejoice with us. And also pray for all the details that go into a wedding. If any of you guys have done a wedding, it's in December, but boy, the time goes very quickly. Plans have to be made, things have to be put in place, deposits have to be done. It's just kind of crazy. But we're super, super excited about it. I think I told you, Michaela, I told you about Inflanta. She got him a job, and then he's also started to do some tutoring at her school, Set C. So, but please pray for more students to come. Michaela got 3 more people from Zonsprit, from the leaders who help out. She got them other jobs there at the school. She got another friend a job. So she's responsible something like 5 people, and she says that's all answers to prayer for everybody who was looking for a job, but they don't have enough students really to pay the salaries. The founder and the owner, he has such a vision and heart for it, and he's been paying people out of his retirement funds. So pray that the school gets more students and does well. And then Dominic. Did I tell you Dominic has a girlfriend? Imani. It's just fantastic. For the first time in months, I think it's been like 6 months that we were not met the parents, so they came over. Praise God, had a great lunch together, so it was very nice. Meeting them. She lives an hour away, so that's been challenging for Dominic and them to be able to see each other. But they're doing well. Pray for Dominic too, because while his job has been great, it just doesn't pay that much. So whatever he has to do, he has to start making more money somewhere. So pray for him that he can find something maybe online that he can use his skills in whatever way to try and earn some extra money. And then Isabel, our little speech therapist, vegan speech therapist, she's doing really well, but she is so busy. It's unbelievable. She leaves early in the morning and then she'll be out sometimes till 7, 8 because she has to see clients when their schedule is, and then she sees them in homes or in hospitals. She drives all around Joburg. So pray for her safety as well, but just strength to do this. It's tough on her, but she's doing really well. Oh, wanted to tell you a great story. Barb's aunt visited in December. We took them up to the game lodge that the Ryan family owns near the Kruger National Park, the biggest national park in the world. One day, everyone was out, and we went out to get some groceries. And Dominic had taken a shower and forgotten to close the bathroom window. Dun dun dun. When we get back from grocery shopping, it was like a slaughterhouse in there. It was just so disgusting. The monkeys had gotten in and ripped apart everything looking for food. We'd had like a bag of corn kernels for popcorn, ripped that apart, and they were just all over. But the worst thing about all the stuff they did and stole and broke into was that they pooped and peed everywhere. They were so disgusting. I mean, there was poop on the walls. It's like they rounded around and pooped right onto the walls. And they're so vindictive, these monkeys, because you always chase them away when you're eating outside. You just make noise and get rid of them, right? And they're so vindictive that this monkey, when he went in through Dominic's window, toppled his shampoo, stepped on it so it squeezed out, and pooped all over it. Uh-huh. Can you believe that? Jeez. They're so smart that they'll wait outside the window, and they know when you're taking that shower, when they hear that, that a lot of times you open the window because it's so steamy in the bathroom. And then they wait. You forget to close that window? Bam! Gosh, at least most of us had kept our doors of our rooms closed from just habit because of that. So they didn't break into the rooms to get at our stuff. But the kitchen was thrashed, and cleaning up poop and pee and throwing away all the food basically because you didn't know what the monkeys had done. Anyway, very frustrating. Thank you for being with us, and just thank you for all of your prayers. We always need prayers, and for your financial support, and just for notes and messages, and I just thank you so much. We praise God for your partnership in our ministry here, and knowing that we couldn't do this without you guys. So thank you, and we'll see you soon.